Hi guys, welcome to the Fiber Nymph Dye Works channel. I am Lisa, also known as Fiber Nymph, and today is Tuesday, May 16th. I am now officially less than 1 week out from when we are leaving for our bicycling vacation in Missouri. Matter of fact, at this time next week, God willing, we should be finished with our first day of pedaling on the Katy Trail, if all goes according to plan. So, wish me luck on that. Anyway, this is sort of my crunch week. I'm trying to get all things work finished up. I've got a show on Saturday. Yes, I planned this super well. Do a show and 2 days later, leave on a 2-week vacation. That's not crazy. Yeah, so I've got a show on Saturday, which I'm trying to finish up for. I've got shop stuff going on. I'm trying to finish that up. I've got some orders I need to get out yet. I just released my new line of yarn colorways, my signature series. In fact, if you already saw me wearing this today, that means you probably already watched my introduction video to that colorway series. And if you haven't, I will link it somewhere up here. So you can check that out if you'd like to. I am going to share a little bit about those colorways in a minute though. So yeah, I'm trying to get videos done. I did a members video this morning and I'm doing this one. So it's a big video day today. Yeah, so lots going on and we're trying to make sure we have all the stuff we need, for the trip because we're slowly realizing, probably slower than we should have realized, that like packing for a bicycle trip that you need to camp some of the time on is different than packing for any other camping trip because you're only hauling stuff on bicycles. That's different. So yeah, we've suddenly been ordering like really lightweight air mattresses, and I got a jet boil because we're gonna have to make some things, and oh my gosh, it's been an ordeal. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. But I'm going to try. I wanted to get this video in before I went away because I told you guys I was going to try to get up a video before I left. And so I'm trying to keep my word. So where you can find me, I am here. I am on Ravelry. I am on Instagram. Ravelry, there's a Fiber Nymph Dye Works group on Ravelry. There is Fiber Nymph Dye Works on Instagram. There's also my private Fiber Nymph thing that I will probably post pictures from our trip. I usually do, as long as I have decent internet connection, so you can look there if you want to. Where else? There is a Fiber Nymph Dye Works page on Facebook, and anytime you want to know what's happening in the shop, the best way to know that is by being on my newsletter list, and you can sign up for my newsletter from any page on my website, which is fibernymphdyworks.com. And I usually do not send out more than one newsletter a week. This week I'll actually be sending out 2, but that's a rarity. Usually 1 or not even 1 a week. So you don't get slammed by a ton of emails. Yeah, so that's what's going on. There's also a membership opportunity. If you'd like to be a member of this channel and help support my work here, you can check that out below the video. There should be a join button. You can click and see what that's all about. But if not, I just appreciate you being here, and I do appreciate my members who are members here. So thank you to you all. Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna let you know, I did do the video about the signature series yarns. I'm super excited about them. There are 5 new colorways. I explain how they came to be in that video, so please watch them, but I'll just give you a rundown real quick. I did give you a sneak peek of the first 2 a while ago because I did take them to my show last month. So Signature Neutrals and Signature Brights, you have already seen, but they are now joined by Signature Jewel Tones, Signature Earth Tones, and to round it all out, I did a Signature Pie colorway. The Pie colorway is a little different than these 4. These 4 all have 5 different colors in them, so we've got a total of 20 colors happening here. This one was created by me doing a dyer's choice kind of thing by picking basically one color from each of these color families and then adding a 5th color of my own choice, which would be that purple stripe in there. Again, I talk all about that in that other video, and you can always read the shop listings if you want. These colorways are up in the shop right now for pre-order. The pre-orders will be up through June 5th, and then I'll be taking those down. The colorways, anything you order from pre-order will ship out by the week of June 19th. I'm giving myself a little extra time on these pre-orders just because I am going to be away for 2 weeks in between this period, and I need the time to be able to dye them up. So they are available as self-striping skeins. They are also all available as mini skein sets. The mini skein sets all have a 6th color included in them, so you actually get 6 colors rather than just the 5 in these colorways. As I've done with my most recent pre-order offers, if you do pre-order a self-striping colorway, you will get a bonus 20-gram coordinating mini skein to go with it as my gift to you, and thank you for pre-ordering. A thing I've done this time that is different than other times is I also have a separate listing up if you want to order the entire collection of self-striping signature series colorways. If you do that, you can go to that listing, and in that listing there is a coupon code noted in there that you can use to take 10% off that full collection if you want to get the full collection. That is not good on any of the individual skeins. That's just good for that full collection option. There are ways that you can either order them all on one base. I have multiple different base options available, or you can mix and match. So just check out that listing and you should be able to figure that out. The other thing I wanted to let you know is, since I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, I am taking all of my in-stock items out of the shop while I'm away. And I'll be taking those down at some point on Friday. I don't know exactly when. But if there's anything in stock in the shop right now that you wanted to get and have shipped out to you before I go away, I'd grab that now. And just for you guys, I'm not advertising this anywhere else. I'm offering my podcast viewers a special coupon code that will just be good from now, when this video goes up, through Friday at whatever time I take everything down. Once it goes down, the coupon code won't be good for anything because it's only good on in-stock items. And the coupon code is PODPEEPS20. So you can take 20% off anything that's in stock between now and whatever time that is on Friday that I end up taking everything down. So that's also my gift to you. And thank you for watching my podcast. I appreciate you being here. Okay, I think that is everything on the upfront side of things. We're just going to go through what I've been working on because, as you might guess, considering everything that's going on right now, I haven't been getting a whole lot of crafting time. The biggest thing I have been working on is spinning. And I did end up finishing up my classy squid bats. So you saw these when I was spinning the bats, and then I spun the singles for the bats. Those were done. And then I started spinning the John Arbin Devonia fiber that I had in a kind of a navy blue colorway as the thing I was going to apply with this. And so this is what that looks like. I got about 660 yards here. It hasn't been soaked yet. It'll probably be close to about 60 yards, or not 60, 600 yards once I soak it. So I got decent yardage. I'm going to guess that it's probably around a sport weight once it's done. Sport light DK, that would be my guess. So I don't have any idea what I'm going to use this for. I ended up using the entire first bag of Devonia, and then I still had singles left of the bat, the classy squid bat. So I had to break in to a second bag of the Devonia that I had in the same blue color. And so I spun that, and I thought I had spun enough to ply it with the rest of the bat, and I didn't. So then I had to spin a little bit more, and then I ended up deciding that I was going to apply what I needed with this. And now I'm just spinning up the rest of that bag of Devonia because I didn't want to just keep it for something else. So right now I am almost actually done with that blue Devonia fiber. And I think what I'm going to do with that, since it's not a huge amount, is I'm going to do an experiment and try doing a chain ply with beads. I saw an article somewhere, and I think I mentioned this maybe to you one other time. And I don't remember if I linked it or not. I don't remember where I saw the article, but I know I have it saved somewhere on my phone. So there's a way to do chain plying where you use a crochet hook and, you know, pull the beads through the yarn as you're doing the loop of the chain. And I'm really just intrigued by that process. So I think that's what I'm going to try doing. I know I have a bunch of beads. I have some clear beads, which I think could look really pretty. Like stars on a blue background, or I think I have some like really iridescent, like bluish purple beads that could also look really good on that yarn. I'll have to see what I've got. I don't know. I haven't looked through my bead stash yet, but that is my plan. I don't know that I'll be getting to play with that before I go away, but that's what's coming down the line for that fiber. And then once I finish up that John Arbin fiber, my next step will be getting to do those 4 braids of Classy Squid Shetland silk that I had showed you in the last episode. I'll start spinning those. So I'm definitely on a blue kick here. The next thing that I have worked on is I did finally warp my 24-inch Ashford rigid heddle loom, and I will put a picture in here. I guess here. Yeah, I finally got that warped. I did not really do any calculations. I just didn't bother. I just thought, I'm going to wing it. And I wanted to use the whole variegated speckled skein as my warp. I warped it about it's a 9-foot warp approximately. So that's a much longer warp than I normally do. And I was not able to do the entire width. You probably saw. I can't remember how many slots I had left over, but it's not going to be the full 24-inch width. I think it's closer to 20 inches wide. Yeah, something like that, which is fine. But the other thing is, in that picture, you can see the weft that I've put in so far. That's the first color in the 5-color gradient that had come with that yarn. That's Wonderland yarns that I'm using. If I have a picture of the original yarn, I'll also put that in. I don't remember, but you saw it before. So my plan was I was going to do this as like a wrap, and I was just going to use each color as I went along, you know, and in its entirety. So the darkest color, then the next lightest color, next lightest, all the way through all 5 colors. Well, then I realized, I did do some calculations after I had already done the warp, and I thought, I might need more than that. So what I then decided to do was to split each of those mini skeins, which they're pretty big mini skeins, but I split each of those mini skeins. I'm going to split them in half, and I thought, well, I'll do like dark to light and then go light to dark. But then I thought, because the light is still fairly dark, I might dye up a couple of extra colors to go in the middle there, lighter colors, to give myself some extra weft yarn. Well, I thought about it, and then I did that first segment that is half of that darkest color, and I realized that I would have to dye an awful lot to be able to make up that amount, and I was probably not going to have enough even then to really do the full length of this warp with these yarns. So I decided to change my plan, as I often do, and I'm going to make a series of mats out of this warp. So I'm going to just use these minis as far as I can, and I'm probably going to end up doing like 2 colors and half of another color. So it would actually be like half a color, half of the next lightest color, and then a quarter of the next lightest color, and then continue in series that way. So the mats will be fraternal. They will not be identical, but they will all be from the same colors. So I'm trying to divide those colors up as equally as I can to be able to get similarly sized mats out of them. And I'll probably just end up putting them in the shop, depending on how they turn out. But yeah, that's my plan. And I'm probably still going to have some warp left over, so I will probably just look for yarn in my stash and use something else. Maybe some hand spun. We'll see. Ooh, this could, no, that's not what I'm going to use that for. But it could be some hand spun. We'll see. So that's happening. Again, I'm probably not going to have a whole lot of time to work on that before we leave on Monday, but it is in progress. And that yarn was my April Personal Stash Yarn Challenge yarn that I subbed in for what I had originally chosen because I want to make a shawl out of that other yarn. I talked about that last time. I won't repeat it. But anyway, so for all intents and purposes, I'm weaving with my April Personal Stash Yarn Challenge yarn. And that brings me to knitting, which I have really not been doing any knitting, except when I have been knitting, I've been working on my 2 skein moss stitch shawl sample, which I did not even bring in to show you because it really doesn't look a lot different. It's just a little larger than the last time you saw it. I'm still on the first skein, though I am almost finished with the first skein. I will be taking that with me in the car because we have a 10-hour drive between here and Missouri. So I anticipate having a lot of knitting time to work on that, both on the way there and on the way back. I'll probably also take Bill's birthday socks. Since I'm half done with the second sock, I can work on that in the car. But the last time we spoke, or I spoke to you, I said I needed to figure out what I was going to take with me as a project while we're on the bicycle trip. Now, obviously, I don't have a whole lot of space to take much of anything other than absolute need items, but for me, having knitting with me is a need item because even if I don't have time to knit every single day, there's always a chance you end up with a day where something happens and you're just sitting or broke down or whatever, and you need something to do. I need something to do, so I need to knit. I told you last time I thought I'd probably just take a sock with me, but I'm not going to. Instead, I am going to take my Dragon Hoard yarn that I showed you last time. I don't believe I had it caked up yet, but here it is. So this is the main skein, and then this is the little mini that came with it. And the colorway is Good Luck Black Cat. I'm going to take this with me, and actually what I still need to do is I need to split this in half and this in half so that I have equal amounts of each of these. And I am going to do a scarf that I have knit once before, and I brought in the one that I've made before. I can't remember the name of this pattern. I forgot to look it up. It's something like, I want to say like favorite scarf ever or something like that. I don't know. I'll put it down here. But I did this one. This is a very long version of it. I did this several years ago. I just used leftovers that minis and leftovers that I had in my stash that I had grouped together in this blue to green to yellow gradient. And I did this as like an Advent knitting project. I worked on it every day, like holiday countdown kind of thing. And I remember when I did it, I did narrow it. I think the pattern is written to be maybe 2 chevrons wider. And so when I do this one with this yarn, I am going to make it wider. So it's going to be wider and shorter. And I'm going to do that and then put buttons on one end so that I can kind of drape it and have it be like a loose cowl. That's what I'm envisioning, because I could put buttons on and then these little holes would make, you know, buttonholes. The way this is constructed, though, is you start at each end. So you do the first half, you start at the end, and then knit through half of your yarn. And then you do the same thing on the other side. You start the second half and then knit up to here. Because when you knit a chevron pattern, if you've ever done that, you know that the top part does not have that same chevron pointy shape. It's more straight. And so that's how this is put together. You just knit from the 2 ends, and then when you join, you you know, Kitchener or Mattress Stitch or whatever you do to join it in the center, which is at the back of your neck anyway. So that's why I'm going to split those two balls. I'm going to start with that gray on each end, and then I will work the other, the main colorway up, and it will meet in the back. So that's my plan for that. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be cool. I love chevron knitting. I love chevrons, and I think that yarn will be really nice because it's a lightweight yarn. It's a light fingering, so I think it'll work well. So that is my knitting plans, and that is pretty much it. I'm not working on anything else. I don't have plans to work on anything else. Emma and I started our garden this past week. We did, Bill had tilled it up for us the week before, and we went to the farm stand and we got some plants and we planted those and our seeds. We still have some plants that we need to put out here on the deck in pots, but herbs and flowers. We got some pepper plants. It's a little early to put anything else in, but quite honestly, we filled the garden already, so I don't know that we'll be planting anything else. But that was basically the only other thing I've worked on, other than, again, getting ready for vacation and trying to get ready for the show and take care of and in a way, I feel like vacation has taken over my show prep, only because I just did a show and I have a lot of stuff already ready to go from that. But yeah, it's just sort of a crazy busy time. The only other thing I wanted to mention to you is the SSOY MAL is still going on. So that is the Stop Shooting on Yourself Make Along for 2023. Hope you're still taking part in that. Obviously, I'm going to be gone over the May to June transition. So once I get back from my trip, I will record and do, the prize drawings for May. However, to that end, if you are participating and you have been participating and posting either in the Ravelry group or on Instagram using the hashtag, and you did not watch last episode, please watch, because I've only heard from one of the 3 prize winners that I announced on the last episode. So I would love to hear from the other 2 so that I can get your prize out. If I don't hear from you within the next day or 2, your prize probably isn't going to go out until after I get back from my trip anyway. The one person I have heard from, if you're watching, your prize will definitely be getting in the mail to you before I leave. I'm sorry it hasn't gone out yet, but there have been some complications on my end. But I have the yarn and it's ready to go. I just need to get it to the post office. So, I think that's it. That's pretty much everything going on here. Again, you can check the shop for the signature series colorways, pre-orders. The pre-orders for the a Middle Earth Winter Holiday Countdown collections, those are still up. They will remain up in the shop while I'm away as well. And I'll be taking those down on June 15th. So if you haven't made up your mind yet if you want one or not, you have about another month to decide if you'd like to get one of those. So I can't think of anything else to tell you about. I'm going to go. I have 3 videos now that I recorded today that I need to get edited and up on the website. Up on YouTube. And I had some dental work done this morning. It's really funny because when I was recording the signature series introduction video, part of my mouth was still numb and I was having a lot of trouble pronouncing words that had P's and B's in them. And now everything has worn off and my mouth is kind of sore. And so I'm going to go and drink some cold water and maybe that'll help make it feel better. Maybe I'll go take a leave or something. So that's all for me. Have a wonderful next couple of weeks until I'm back. Wish me luck on this bicycle trip, guys. I have never done a long bicycle trip. Bill and I did bicycle on the weekend. Sunday we went and we did 24 miles in just under 3 hours. Our longest days, we have 3 days that are going to be between 45 and 50 miles. So that's like double what we did Sunday. So those are going to be kind of all day pedaling days. So wish me luck. I know I can do it. I am confident. I am confident that this is going to go great. Everything's going to go well. We're going to have good weather. So far, we only have one day that looks like it could be pretty rainy in the forecast that we can see. But yeah, I'm just fingers crossed everything goes well. No injuries. I'm manifesting good times for us. No injuries. Healthy. No breakdowns. None of that. It's going to be a good trip. And I'll tell you all about it whenever I get back. And hopefully I will post to Instagram while I'm away. If you don't see anything there, then that just means I wasn't able to connect. But I'm sure we'll be taking lots of pictures along the way. And GoPro footage because I have my GoPro. Have to remember to pack it. All right, guys. Talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.